Oh, thank you so much, Kat. Absolutely brilliant discussion. Cannot wait to dive back into that. But as you quite rightly said, yes, where there is a demand is an opportunity for new solutions. And let's focus on one of those right now. We are joined by the co-creator of the country's most used app at the moment, understandably, EskomSePush. And it's Dan Wells in the hot seat. If you haven't heard of it, the free-to-use service gets you load shedding alert notifications and predictions so that you don't get caught in the dark. But the app is now growing and has become a lot more than a load shedding app. And co-creator Dan is here to tell us more. So first of all, congratulations on the new addition to the family. That's amazing. So you're going to be tired regardless. One reason, though, is that you are running probably the busiest app online in this country. Did you expect this? I'm sure you must feel validated and hugely motivated, but did you expect this?
No, absolutely not. So thank you so much for having me here. But
Absolute
yeah,
pleasure.
we started the app back in 2015 because there needed to be an app for that when there was load shedding back then. And if we think of from then, back in 2015, when I think we peaked at 250,000 users, which was huge, to what we are at now, which is close to 6.5 million users using the app every day, it's nuts. It's completely nuts in terms of how many users open the app every time there's a push notification sent out.
You must have been one of only about 60 million people thinking of making an app like that at the time. What prompted you to take that step? And how easy was it, and I say that with all due respect, to take that first step and actually start this venture?
Yeah. So the reason behind the app is that load shedding schedules are sometimes quite complicated, and they're different in different municipalities as well. So City of Cape Town's schedules look different to Nelson Mandela Bay's schedules, to City Power's different, to Eskom's different. So we take all of the schedules in their different formats and we put them into a very common, very easy to read, easy to understand format within the app to answer the simple question, when will I be affected?
Yeah.
That's all you need to know. You don't need to look at a piece of paper. You don't need to know what stage, what times. You just need to know, when will I be affected so that I can plan my day around that. And yeah, when we started to where we are now, no, we had no idea. We started this out as fun. So Herman and myself, we used to work together and we used to share an office. We started this out as a fun thing, as a side project, a little side hustle. And the reason why we started was, we want to know. Personally, we want to know when we're affected. And then after that, we were like, maybe our friends and family would be interested in it. And we went from there.
It's insane. And now we've all had this front row seat to watch this creation of yours take hold and do so phenomenally well. And before we talk about the next evolution or your next phase of this business journey, the name. Did that happen in a moment? Was that a conversation? You must have had a good laugh coming up with that.
So Herman and myself, we worked on some of the original internet banking apps within South Africa, and we did some of the security behind them. And one of our customers that we would work on a day-to-day basis on the other end of a teleconference would have these very strong Afrikaans accents. And we often would be talking about push notifications. And in a very strong Afrikaans accent, that can come across as a different word.
Slightly different.
So we would have a chuckle, push the mute button on the teleconference and have a laugh. And that's how the name was sort of born. But ultimately, it's push notifications, which is the name of the technology. And it's for Eskom stages and Eskom schedules.
That's beautiful. It was meant to be, man. It was meant to be. All of this is great in its idea and its notion, but now people are trusting you to provide a service. And when it comes to information, this has got to be done in a particular kind of way. Have you built a relationship with the municipalities? How have you managed that flow of information? Or do you have to go and dig and unearth this for yourself? How do you get that flow of info?
So building relationships, we are trying, and we try every day to build stronger relationships. We have relationships, but we can't say that they're commitments. They're friendly conversations.
You're courting, yeah.
Friendly conversations, and we operate in the public. So we have no commitments with municipalities, nor they do with us. And similarly with Eskom, we've got a good, friendly relationship with them. But we operate in the public. So we take the public information that's available from the municipalities and from Eskom, and we push that information out to all of the consumers and users of the app.
myself included. So thank you so much for helping us through a pretty dark period in our lives. We're going to get into the business journey with Dan in just a moment, and we would love to continue to hear from you this morning. If you've got any of your own personal stories, what do you do when the lights go out? 0634088863. Drop us a voice note. We're going to keep that conversation going for the next 3 hours.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back as we continue our focus on energy in its dynamism. And we're back with Dan Wells, the co-creator of EskomSePush, the country's most popular Eskom alert notification app. And we're continuing our discussion on creating something that has made, I think, ordering our days so much easier. So once again, I'm going to say well done. Congratulations. I know there have been some hard yards through any entrepreneurial journey. We've been able to actually see it happen on our phones. This journey has just mushroomed. But there must have been a line in the sand at some point to make this all in. I understand you were a programmer working with your mate, in fact, in the same cubicle. Great idea, becomes a hobby. Then you reach this frontier where you've got to take it a bit more seriously. Did you have to go all in and take the risk? Was the demand too great that you had already taken that step? Talk us through that transition into making this a full-time focus.
Yeah, so beginning of 2022, we've gone full-time on this. So Herman has gone full-time on EskomSePush and some of our other projects, and in August this year I joined as well, which is wild. This is a little side project that we were running in our spare time over the weekends, upsetting our friends, our family, our wives, you know, spending time on this. And now we've gone full-time on it, and our side hustle's become our main hustle, which is quite weird.
It's brilliant.
It is. It's been difficult. How do you start a company that's based on something that is, in theory, not sustainable? Because we all hope, as any other South African, I can assure you that we hate load shedding as much as any other South African. Yeah. So I wouldn't base a company on it, although, you know, solve the problem. Try and get involved to solve as much of the problem as possible. So yeah, going all in on something that's based on load shedding, a bit of a challenge. However, in hindsight, you know, the year has played out with quite a lot of load shedding.
Yeah, and I think the next couple of years, you're probably going to get your market's going to be primed for this, undoubtedly, but we need to evolve. There is something about the opportunity to connect the 6 million plus people that you have, and that seems to be a part of your progression. Talk me through the community that is being created around you.
So with EskomSePush, we're just two people. It's Herman and myself. There's no one else behind it. And whenever there's an outage that is not load shedding, people tend to contact us as well. And they say, why is my power out? You didn't let us know. So every outage now has suddenly been equated with load shedding. But it's not. There's load shedding, there's load reduction, there's outages. And
there's stolen cables.
There's planned outages, and there's unplanned outages as well, maintenance. So we're trying to solve that problem by saying, don't email us. Use the Ask My Street feature that's in the EskomSePush app and ask the people that are around you. Because if I don't know, maybe you know why the power's out. So ask the people that are around you, and instead of relying on some of the closed group communities that you might already be a part of, say a WhatsApp group or a Facebook or a
which
Twitter,
are great in itself. But
they're great, but they're exclusionary. And they're kind of private, and that you have to get access to it. So we've created a public community which is hyper-local based on your GPS coordinates, where you can say, hey, does anyone know why my water's out? And maybe you know the answer. Oh, the City of Cape Town's doing maintenance. And bam, you've got the information. Information is power, to make a pun. And you can plan your life around it.
That's Ubuntu, my friend, the power of community. Absolutely love it. Congratulations once again. And well done for being brave enough to take this leap forward. I have a feeling the next few years are going to be even more exciting for you. But thank you so much for providing an essential service for all of South Africa, and also showing that entrepreneurs will find a solution. We love you, Dan. EskomSePush is going to be helping us a lot over the next couple of months. So get into the community and show some love.